Hey everybody, it's MYM777, and today I'm going to bring you guys a little bit something different. You can see that I'm not playing on my actual account. This is actually an account I made for whenever my friends are over and they just want to BS around and what have you. But yeah, I got dropped in this Domination lobby on Grid a couple minutes in, as you can see on the bottom bar. But yeah, the topic I want to discuss today is actually something I've heard come up a lot in the Call of Duty community and amongst other commentators, and it's, playing the objective and what actually constitute that. Now there's one side of it where people say if you get the big kill streaks like Blackbird, Chopper Gunner, Dogs, and what have you, you're really helping the team because that prevents the other enemies from capping objectives, planting bombs, etc. But then you have the other side of it where people are saying, if you're not actively engaging in the objective itself, getting kill streaks really doesn't help the team as much as it can. And I can see an argument being made for both. I mean, as for my own position, I'm on the fence with it because, 99% of the time whenever I play objective-based games with my team, I'm running 3, 4, 5 kill streaks regardless. So I mean, it doesn't really matter to me, but I know I have teammates who run, the 8, 9, 11 or the other high kill streaks, and that's perfectly fine because, it's not 6 of us all running high kill streaks. We have a good balance amongst it, and I guess that's what gets lost amongst it because people automatically, assume one side or the other that either you run high kill streaks and, you provide your team with, by getting a lot of kills and preventing the enemy team from capping objectives, whereas the other people say, unless you're actually on the flag or on the bomb planning, you're not really doing anything. And I think both extremes are, exactly that. They're extremes. It's not really looking at the bigger picture. I mean, yeah, getting big kill streaks doesn't involve you, most of the time not being on the objective. But, it is true that if there's a gunship or dogs in there, it's a lot less likely that they're going to be able to cap flags. I mean, you can bring up the Ghost Pro argument, but, how many people are actually going to be rocking that? Not the majority of the team, I can tell you that. But on the other side, you don't always have to be right on top of the objective because, when someone's defending B, like what I am doing in this video, I play a support role in this particular game, and that's, I'm obviously going to try to cap flags, but my main job is to hold down B, especially because, I'm not playing in a party. Like I said, I'm playing with a bunch of randoms on a different account, and, we were just messing around in Domination, whatever, but I realized, early on, hey, I want to try to get the win, and B is obviously the most hotly contested flag, and if you lose it, it's really hard to get it back, especially on maps like this where you're right out in the open, and if you can get it early on and, keep it, it's really going to go towards getting the win. But yeah, playing a support type role, obviously you're not going to do anything for your team if you're right on top of the objective. It's best to set up a position around it, and, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I should probably, the class I'm using is, a perfect, I guess, support role, at least in my opinion it is. And, I'm using the FAMAS with extended mags, a CZ75 pistol with extended mags. I have a smoke grenade, frags, flak jacket, sleight of hand pro, and marathon. Oh, and jammer. And the reason I think this is like the perfect support type class is because, I'll explain it right now, is, with extended mags, it really lets you spray down an objective area because, normally with the FAMAS I like running a dual mags, but since I am playing a support type role instead of a slayer role where, I'd be going for kills and kill streaks, I'm playing, like I said, support. I support whatever flag's being taken so that I can prevent the enemy from doing so, or, I try to lay down fire so that we can get an objective back if we've lost. And extended mag is really useful because, enemies tend to spawn around whatever objective they have, so, a lot of the times they're charging right towards it, and having extended mags really allows you to cover an area without needing to reload. And flak jacket I think is the most amazing perk for objective game types, and I only recently found that out because before, even when my team and I played Domination, Headquarters, Demolition, what have you, I would always be running hardline, and that hardline in and of itself is still really good, but getting constant kill streaks I found out really wasn't as helpful in the long run as it was being able to actually be involved in the objective itself by capping it and whatnot. And flak jacket, I mean, as you'll see throughout this video, it lets me absorb an insane amount of explosive. People throw semtexes, nades onto the flag, and I absorb it like a sponge. I mean, it really doesn't do anything to me. People don't really expect that because, you expect if a nade is anywhere close to an objective, you can take them out. But with flak jacket, I pretty much just say, give me your worst, and they can rain nades on you all day, but in the end, it didn't really do anything. I mean, you can see I capped the B flag easily a couple times with nades raining on top of me, and it's easy to defend too because when people are on the opposite end of my current position, which is trying to take back a flag, they're gonna throw nades in the direction of the flag or flags that the opposition has, and being able to absorb defensive nades is just as good as being able to absorb offensive nades. That's why Flakjack is such a great perk, and sleight of hand, fast reload, fast aim down sight. When you're in the middle of capping an objective, it's important that you win gunfights, and sleight of hand pro really helps you do that. And marathon, it's just basically, I get to get back into the thick of things and get back to defending objective as soon as I die. After I've died, it lets me traverse the map from A to B, C to B, or whatever flag I have, and I just feel it's a really great perk. And with that, I don't need hacker because since I have Flakjack, I'll just absorb explosives. And with smoke grenades, I think people underrate smoke a lot because most people think when they think of smoke, they think of you're just spraying into the smoke and hopefully you get an enemy or two. But if you know how to use it, it can be really helpful. And what I mean by that is you can smoke a path to the objective, or you can smoke the objective itself, wait for all the nades to rain in, and then when the expected nades are done exploding, you can jump right onto the objective and absorb some more, but you're just not as frequent because the enemy's already gotten rid of most of them. That's why Warlord Pro is also a good perk to have because you can rain multiple nades onto the objective. And Jammer's an interesting thing because the reason I use it isn't more so because it helps you get kills, although obviously it does. It's an unexpected thing for the enemy to see because most people have, they expect to see claymores, they expect to see motion sensors. What people don't expect to see is they don't expect to see jammers. Jammers can really, mess with the opposition because, as you get closer to it, your radar starts fuzzing out, and any enemy equipment inside that radius is going to be disabled. And it really, even if it's just being an annoyance to the enemy, that can really also help because when they're worried about their minimap and who may or may not be around them, it takes their mind off the objective even for a split second. And time is of the essence, and if you can protect the flag by creating inability on the enemy's part to defend it, it's a really good equipment in my mind, and I've really started to use it of late. I used to use claymores all the time, but now I've put jammer on many of my objective classes, and with good reason. Really messes with the enemy's head and can buy you that split couple seconds to really, cap the objective. And as you saw through most of this game, nades are crucial. I mean, I don't know if most of the enemy was running flak jacket or not, but you saw I've thrown like 3 or 4 or 5 nades that have landed in or around the flag, and it's really just defended it well. I mean, I felt I played a really good support role here, and as I bring up the scoreboard at the end, I finished 52-10. The thing that really gets me is I finished with 18 defends. I mean, you can see I was not camping around. I was actively moving between the A and B flag and defending it. And, I just really wanted to show that, just because you're not capping 10 flags a game, you can really play a role in, who wins and who loses in an objective game. And when I first entered this game, our team was losing, but I was able to help us pull out the victory. But yeah, just let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments below. Take care, everybody.